On June 2nd, a developer typed one line inside GitHub Copilot, and the answer came back from Microsoft's own brain now. Same keystroke, same editor, but a different supplier behind it, meaning the build changed before the workflow changed for you. That quiet swap is the whole Build 2026 story, because Microsoft announced 7 MAI models built inside its walls. MAI means Microsoft AI, and the name matters here, since this is intelligence Microsoft can route without asking OpenAI first. Before this, the clean story was simple. Microsoft sold access, while the deepest model work lived with the startup it funded. That arrangement powered Copilot, Azure demos, and the AI boom narrative, so every answer carried 2 layers: product margin and model rent. The first consequence was control, because routing became a product decision. And once Microsoft owned that route, the real mechanism could start. Start with MAI Thinking 1, the reasoning model that works step by step, meaning it checks the path before giving you the final answer. Its deeper trick is mixture of experts, a committee inside one model, where only the useful specialists wake up for each request. For one query, about 35 billion parameters switch on. So the system spends compute like a scalpel, not a hammer. That matters because corporate AI fails when the answer is expensive, even when the demo looks brilliant on a conference stage. Microsoft also brought a small coding model into the same family, because Copilot needs speed where developers feel delay instantly. Then came image, transcription, and voice models for the surrounding tools, so the supplier switch could spread across more than code. And here's the part that keeps this from being a copycat story. Microsoft says the flagship was trained from scratch inside its pipeline. Now the peak is economics, because quality alone would not force this. Mustafa Suleyman said a tuned MAI matched OpenAI for one demanding client, but the operating cost landed roughly 10 times lower. That is not bragging rights, it is margin returning home. Because when Azure runs the model, Microsoft controls the meter, and when Microsoft controls the meter, developers feel the price. So the mechanism has 2 halves: selective compute and owned infrastructure, one reducing what wakes up, the other reducing who gets paid. For developers, that can mean tools that stay useful at scale, instead of premium features that disappear behind a higher tier. For enterprise buyers, it means fewer conversations about vendor lock-in, because a second supply line weakens the fear of one outage. And for OpenAI, the awkward part is who built that line. The check writer is now shipping the alternative to the check's product. Suleyman called the goal long-term self-sufficiency, which is unusually plain. He also said exclusivity had loosened about 6 months earlier, and once that cord loosened, Microsoft could choose the brain. That choice now reaches Foundry, where outside developers can pick models, so the mechanism is not trapped inside Copilot anymore. It can become the default option wherever Microsoft owns the channel, which is how supplier dependence quietly turns into supplier optionality. And that is the uncomfortable lesson for every AI company watching. If your customer owns the cloud, the interface, and the users, then your model may be brilliant and still become replaceable. That is why the first keystroke matters more on replay, because the suggestion is not just code appearing on a screen, it is the moment Microsoft stopped buying every answer wholesale and started deciding which brain answers you next.